Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive right in because we have a classic sports mystery on our hands.
So, picture this. On one side, you've got this unstoppable force, right? An ace pitcher, Jacob deGrom, who just lives on strikeouts. I mean, he's one of the most dominant arms in the game. But then, on the other side, you have the immovable object, the Toronto Blue Jays. Statistically, they are the hardest team in the entire league to strike out. Their whole identity is built around not swinging and missing.
So, what happens when they collide? That's the big question, right? And the answer? Well, it's not going to be on the surface. Nope, it's buried deep in the data. This is a classic battle of outliers, and to find that winning edge, we've got to look way deeper than just the box score.
All right, first things first, let's scout our main subject. What makes Jacob deGrom so good? I mean, why is he considered one of the best pitchers in the game? Well, the data, it paints a picture of a truly elite talent.
His arsenal is just electric. We're talking a fastball that averages almost 98 miles per hour, with some serious movement on it. And he pairs that with this absolutely devastating slider. It's a real out pitch, something you can throw in any count to get a guy. Honestly, just those two pitches are enough to dominate most lineups on any given day.
But this right here is his real secret weapon, deception. The data shows that the release point for all four of his pitches, fastball, slider, you name it, they all come from a window of just 0.2 feet. Now for a hitter, that is an absolute nightmare. It's basically impossible to know what pitch is coming until it's way too late. They all look exactly the same coming out of his hand.
So when you look at all that, deGrom seems pretty much bulletproof, right? Invincible. But is he? See, data analysis is kind of like being a detective. You have to look for the clues that nobody else is seeing. You're looking for those tiny little cracks in what looks like impenetrable armor.
Okay, let's start digging. Time for the investigation. To find this flaw, we can't just look at the obvious stuff like strikeouts or ERA. No, we need to go deeper, to a metric that tells us the true quality of the contact he's been giving up. And for that, we're going to use a stat called XWOBA, which sounds complicated, but don't worry. All you need to know is this. It measures how hard hitters are actually hitting the ball. It's based on things like how fast the ball comes off the bat and at what angle. Basically, it strips away all the luck, like whether a defender makes a great play or messes it up.
So when we look at deGrom's performance through this XWOBA lens, a story starts to emerge. It's subtle, yeah, but it's a really significant trend. And it suggests he might just be more vulnerable than he's been in a long time.
Okay, here's our first big clue. Lately, hitters have been making way harder contact against him. The average exit velocity, the speed of the ball coming off the bat, has jumped from just under 90 miles per hour to 93. And that's just over his last 25 batted balls. In baseball terms, that is a huge leap.
And that harder contact, it leads us directly to clue number 2, a big spike in his barrel rate. So what's a barrel? Think of it as the absolute sweet spot, the perfect combination of hitting the ball super hard and at the perfect angle for maximum damage. We're talking home runs and doubles. His rate has jumped from 8.6% up to 12%. That's a clear sign that hitters are just squaring him up a lot more often.
And look, this isn't just a one-game blip. This is a real trend. You can see it right here. Back in June, he was dominant. Hitters had a measly .374 OPS against him. But then July hit, and that number more than doubled. And it stayed high in August. This confirms it. He's in a clear summertime slump. And this chart, wow, this is what I'm talking about. It visualizes the problem perfectly. You can see all those dots in the red zone? That's the danger zone. That's hard-hit balls in the air. He's allowing way more of those lately. This right here, this is our smoking gun. This is the crack in the armor we've been looking for.
Okay, so we found it, a real vulnerability. Now the big question is, who is best equipped to actually take advantage of it? Well, let me introduce you to the Toronto Blue Jays, a team whose entire identity seems like it was custom built for this exact moment.
I mean, look at this lineup. It is an absolute nightmare for a strikeout pitcher. You've got guys like Alejandro Kirk and Ernie Clement who are some of the best in the entire league at not striking out. Then you've got your stars at the top, Bo Bichette, Vladdy Jr., they also make incredible contact. What this lineup does is it forces a pitcher's hand. They make you throw strikes and they will put the ball in play.
And that puts DeGrom in a real pick-your-poison situation. What does he do? Does he try to nibble around the edges against these high-contact guys? Because if he does, his pitch count is going to skyrocket and he'll lose his rhythm. Or does he just challenge them? Because if he does that, the power hitters are just sitting there waiting to punish any little mistake. There are literally no easy outs here.
And that brings us to the key, the linchpin, Dalton Varsho. See, his entire approach to the plate is designed to punish exactly what DeGrom is struggling with, hard contact in the air. Look at that launch angle, 22.7 degrees. That's high, and he's got elite power. He is the perfect counterpunch to DeGrom's very specific, very recent vulnerability. He's not trying to hit ground balls. He's trying to elevate and do damage.
And let's be really clear about this. This isn't just about betting against a great pitcher. Not at all. This is about betting on a very specific, data-backed collision course. It's kind of like the perfect storm, right? You've got a hitter whose entire strength is hitting the ball hard in the air, going up against a pitcher who, all of a sudden, has started allowing exactly that kind of contact. It's a matchup made in data heaven.
All right, let's put it all together. Time to wrap up this investigation. The evidence is pretty clear, and it's pointing us toward a very specific conclusion about how this whole thing is going to play out.
So let's recap the case file. Step 1, we started with the ace, Jacob deGrom, elite, deceptive, nearly untouchable. Step 2, we found the flaw. We sifted through the data and found a hidden, quantifiable weakness. He's giving up harder contact. Step 3, we identified the weapon, the Blue Jays lineup, uniquely built to make contact and hit for power. And finally, step 4, the specific matchup. Dalton Varsho, the hitter whose profile is a perfect match to exploit that very vulnerability.
And this is where it all comes together. This is where the data turns into a real, tangible strategy. See, this whole investigation isn't just some fun thought experiment. It points directly to a specific, tactical play you could make, like targeting Dalton Varsho's total bases prop bet. It's a super precise play, and it's based entirely on that collision course we found in the numbers.
So, can a single data point really unravel an ace? Well, what this shows us is that in modern sports, the biggest upset might not even start on the field anymore. It might start with a single analyst digging through the data who finds that one number, that one tiny trend that changes everything. And why does this matter? Because it's a whole new way of seeing the game. The story isn't just about raw talent anymore. It's about the data that can reveal exactly when and how even the absolute best can be beaten.